Yo, what's good YouTube? I am back with another video. If you are new to the platform, I wanna welcome you. Welcome to the family. At the end of this video, hope you're going to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to react to this video. Our black queen, she's educated, she's making her own money, she's doing good in life, but it seems she didn't buy that narrative of being strong and independent. I don't need no man, that type of words, so she has something to tell us, our point of view of why she's thinking all women have to do like that. I'll be going back and forth between the videos to avoid the used content, but let's get into it.
I may get canceled for this, but I don't want my husband to just work and pay bills. I don't want him to not have a hobby. I don't want him to not have healthy mental health. I don't want him to not have savings. I don't want him to work and slave all day, every day to take care of my bills, our bills, and me just sit there and not contribute anything. This is coming from a young lady who has never been married. I don't have any kids. I have a dog. I'm fully educated, pay my own bills right now, and it is difficult. I have a great career, and it is difficult. So when I think of getting married and building with someone or coming together and bringing our assets together, I could never lay in my bed knowing that my husband has no life and no freedom and maybe no peace because all he does is work and pay bills so that I can enjoy, as if he doesn't deserve to enjoy. I truly want a partnership. I want to contribute. And I'm not talking about if this man was a billionaire, trillionaire, and we just got money flowing everywhere. But what's the likelihood of that?
To be honest, these are the type of women men are looking for. They don't care about their career, they don't care for what they have, they care about their significant others. What will they do to their husbands to help them going through and push forward? Not like other women who are selfish, bro, like, hey, do me this, do me that, it's your responsibility. No, she's different. She actually qualifying to be somebody's wife. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Let's continue.
I just can't fathom. And there are some women who can fathom. They don't think about their men, their mental health. I think about my own mental health with stuff I be going through right now. Bills, mortgage, no. Your dog gets sick, you get sick. You gotta go out, you gotta be out for work for a week now because blah blah blah. I want a healthy partnership. I want my significant other to know my wife got me. I want him to not be afraid to come home if he gets laid off, if something happens at work, if he becomes sick and has to take off work for a little bit. I want him to know my wife got us. We got savings because my wife been working. My wife contributes. It's not just on me. I think we really need to think about how that feels for someone when everything is on them. All the taking care of the kids and their bills and what it costs to feed and uh, clothe and get them into these different schools and activities. You have a wife, you have a house, there's cars, there's vacation potentially, there's 401k, there's healthcare, there's a bunch of things that I'm probably not even naming off. And then your world falls apart. And now who is going to help out with that?
Yeah, she's right, bro. 100% right. Because in a relationship, I think most of the time, only one part is responsible in a relationship. Especially men, like a man have to provide, protect, and do everything and make sure everything is fine. But a woman does nothing, to this man. So what do you expect? He will get tired, and that will not work because he's a human being as well. He wants comfort. He wants someone to be there from at least to show up, and see if there's someone carrying him. I think that will work. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Let's continue.
Some of the videos that I see on social media is just disappointing because it goes to show how men are really not thought of. Their mental health isn't cared about, their peace isn't cared about, their interests aren't cared about. And as somebody who had a father who took care of us, and my mom didn't have to want for nothing, she still decided to work. And she was a stay-at-home mom. We had a nanny, all those things. And she, at whatever point, decided to go back to work. And she has always raised us and told us it's a partnership. Don't let that man just do everything. That man has heart and feelings. That man has a million things going on in his head. You, as his helpmeet, be a helper. Bring some peace and some ease to him. He deserves to have hobbies too. He deserves a life too. So, all this rhetoric on the internet about I need a provider man and I just want to sit and twiddle my thumbs and go on trips and not account for anything, you have to understand where the weight of bills, which is real for all of us, is going to go. That man. You have to recognize while you are not having any stress and worry, what is happening to that man. You may not have the stress and worry, but now the man has his own stress and worry and is picking up your weight as well. I think it's just very different um, in regular working class people than rich. I'm not talking about rich people. And a lot of people that claim to be rich ain't even rich. A lot of people that claim that they got provider man don't really have them. And they might be providers financially, but what happens spiritually, emotionally, mentally?
I knew it, bro. I knew it. She might be raised by a two-parental household, and yes, it is. So you can see the benefit of having a mom and dad in your life. We have to learn from this. At the time we're separating ourselves, like kid being raised by a single mom, single dad. But we all know, like a single mom is more worse at raising a single dad because these women, what they're doing, man, they want them kids to hate their fathers. So they'll be feeding them false information and having that revenge heart, knowing like, what? All of this happened because of our dad, because of my dad. This happened. Maybe my mom going through this because of my dad. So what do you think will follow next? The cycle will continue. They will go into a relationship, but not putting that love, loving their husband, loving their family. No, they'll have that selfish mindset to think that they can do themselves. So these men are their worst enemies. Let's continue.
How do they treat your kids or y'all's kids? Because it's a lot going on TikTok with that. How do they treat you? It's just so much I want to say, but be very mindful of what you think you want. And if you say you are a woman of God, pray about it. Ask God the qualities of a man you should be looking for. I want a provider man. What does that look like? Because it's not just financial. And God can do a lot more with a man of God, and he will care for you in ways you can't imagine over you going over here dating folk that you don't got no business dating because you want a provider. You want to prove a point. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's a lot of people that will rather go to hell to prove that they got all the bags and shoes and trips and sleep with somebody and be with somebody who they do not like and are not attracted to prove a point and live a life of luxury, all to go to hell. But who am I? Who am I?
And that was for today, family. I wanted to share it with you for showing you that it's actually possible to get good women out there, but it's all starting when they're kids, so mom and dad, they have to be there for their kids together. I believe we'll end this cycle of producing a lot of single moms, And those women who they think they don't need no men in their lives, they can do it by themselves, but at the end they wake up, it's too late.